Thanks for joining us on Over My Dead Body, the podcast hosted by Nicola Reeder and Carl Tate that aims to bust those myths about all things funerals and answer the questions you never dared ask. So stick in your earbuds, listen, and then send us your questions for the things we still haven't answered for you. Happy listening. Hey there and welcome to Over My Dead Body, Series 3, Episode 4. Welcome back. We are recording this intro on the hottest May Day ever in the UK, so I hope wherever you are enjoying the sunshine and not melting too badly. It's Nicola here and I am flying solo this week because Carl is taking a little bit of well-earned holiday. Speaking of which, I shall be doing the same next week, relaxing on a sunbed in Portugal with producer Steve. Much well-deserved after the last few months. So we're going to be off air for a couple of weeks because while Carl might be able to record some brilliant content, we are not letting him loose with the editing tools. So we will wait till producer Steve is back home. So for this episode of the podcast, I wanted to carry on a conversation that I'd mentioned last week in the episode, where I'd invited the owner of the Maple Park Café at Thirsk Crematorium down to the London Coffee Festival to talk about everything that he's doing and how coffee is a cause for good and inspiring conversations. If you've ever been to Maple Park Café, easy for me to say, you'll know just what a warm welcome you get down there, how difficult it can be for David to run that operation because he never really knows what his opening hours are going to be week to week, but how he still continues to create such brilliant initiatives in the community. So this is well worth a listen. You may think coffee can't spin out a whole episode of Over My Dead Body, but you'll be surprised. So enjoy this episode. We're off on the big silver bird to the sunshine, and we'll see you when we get back. Cheers, guys. Enjoy. So on this week's episode of the podcast, in a slight change to our original plan, I am delighted to invite David Martin from Maple Park Café. So David, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks Nick, thanks for having me.
Very, very welcome. So David, yourself and I were on a panel at the London Coffee Festival last weekend, just chatting about coffee as a cause for good. And I thought it would be really interesting for you to come on and talk to some of our listeners about what you're doing. So to begin with, tell us a little bit about your background, what were you doing, and how do you end up having a cafe in a crematorium?
Yeah, will do. It's quite strange, isn't it? It's a strange story, but my background is in event catering and wedding catering, and I've worked as executive head chef at a couple of different wedding venues, all in North Yorkshire, and that took me to my executive chef role at the University of York. So anybody who works in catering knows that it's evenings and weekends and long hours, and I finally landed on my feet with a bit more of a Monday to Friday job. But what I wanted to do was combine my experience in banqueting and my own business and the family lifestyle of working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and there aren't many catering opportunities out there that do that. And then a very unusual cafe became available within the same grounds as a crematorium. So we went to go and look at it, thinking that it was insane and that we would just give it the polite look and then probably not follow it up. But we loved it as soon as we saw it, saw the potential in what it can offer. And 4 years later, we're still there, and that's how it came about.
Amazing. So this is Maple Park Café at Maple Park Crematorium in Thirsk. For anyone who doesn't know it, that's North Yorkshire, for anybody who's further afield. So tell us what Maple Park's like. What does it look like? What does it feel like? When do you open? Probably not many people will have ever been to a cafe in a crematorium, so paint the picture for people.
Yeah, it's a very idyllic setting. It's nice and in the countryside in North Yorkshire. It's a new build crematorium, and alongside that is a new build, obviously, cafe facility. It can seat 100 guests. It's got wide, big windows that overlook the Hambleton Hills. It's a very beautiful site. It's something that if you were wanting to take on a cafe and it wasn't at a crematorium, you would have had thousands and thousands of people applying to take it on. It's so picturesque, it's really, really nice. The crematorium element of itself does put off a few visitors. They don't know whether they can come, they don't know whether they're allowed to come. Some people feel that they may be intruding upon other people's personal space or grief, but we are open to everybody. The cafe is open Monday to Friday, and our opening hours are quite erratic as well because we do close for a lot of private events, as you can imagine. So it's a difficult cafe to promote, but we are there for people when they need us.
And that is such a challenge for you. One of the things as a kind of entrepreneur myself, that I look at your business constantly and say, how do you keep going when you don't know from one week to the next when you're going to be open? You know, when you can just be open for walk-ins and when you're going to have bookings. So what percentage of your business now is probably taken up with people coming and booking wakes after funerals?
Over 90%. The cafe is very modest, and as a standalone business, it wouldn't be viable. The take-ins today so far have been about £60. That won't go up much more than that, and we don't have any private bookings today. There's no wake services booked in with us today. And as you can see, I'm working from home, which is a bit insane because I'm paying staff to operate the cafe while I'm not there, and we're only taking £60. So today is a loss-making day. But we know from experience, we've been there 4 years now. Well, if I can give you an example of my background with the wedding catering industry, you know what your entire calendar looks like for most of the year. You would know in March that you were going to be busy in August or September. We don't get any bookings past 2 or 3 weeks' time. So I am permanently terrified that nobody will book with us for June, for example. As we're recording here in late May, we've got no bookings beyond the 5th of June, and we've got nothing penciled in at all. But we trust the process. We've got good working relationships with the funeral directors who recommend us. We've earned their trust, and we know that we've got a good reputation and people will use us and they'll come back to us. We've had repeat family bookings as well, which is obviously quite poignant and quite sad to see the same people again if they've come back after a couple of years, but it's the biggest compliment we can have that they trust us to provide for them, and that's how we keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a fellow freelancer or business owner in the funeral industry, I feel your pain. I'm about to take 2 weeks off on holiday, and it doesn't matter that I've already done 100 services this year. I've got nothing in my diary for when I come back because that's how bookings fall. It's kind of quiet at the moment, and you're sitting there absolutely terrified, thinking, "Oh my God, is there going to be anything when I come back on the 5th of June? Is there going to be?" And you know there will be, and it'll happen. But if the industry's quiet, we're quiet, you're quiet, and there's not an awful lot we can do about that.
No. We have got the benefit of seeing, because we were brand new, we've got the benefit of seeing the numbers year on year. And it's quite a strange thing to sort of celebrate getting more bookings when you think of what that means. But the way we look at it is that there isn't more people dying because they're booking with us. It's just more people are booking with us.
Yeah.
You know, like we've got a better reputation and people trust us. So that's the way we kind of rationalise it.
Absolutely, and that's, I think, the same. You know, when you have a really busy month and you think, oh gosh, that's great, because we are business owners, but working in an industry we love and really care about. And you think, but that means that 20, 30 families have lost a loved one, and that's not a good thing. But actually, from a business perspective, I can stay in business, I can keep providing services for people. You know, it's sustainable. But so you get lots of people coming for wakes and receptions, and in your experience, how do you manage that? What are they looking for? Do you ever get that question, oh, how does it feel to have your wake, knowing that a cremation's happening kind of just in the next room, really? How do you manage all of that?
So there's a lot to unpack there. We get a lot of people come and scope us out at the cafe, and we don't know who they are. So because we're open to the public, they'll come and visit us incognito, if you like, and get a cup of tea or a sandwich from the cafe, check us out, like the look of the place, and then they'll say to us, oh, by the way, we've got a service booked in a couple of weeks' time. Are you available to do some wake catering? And that happens a lot. So people want to make a little judgment on us, have a little look at the place. So the way we prepare for that is I brief our staff that we are not council employees, and we don't work for a crematorium, and we're not qualified to give sort of therapy sessions on grief. We can empathise, absolutely, but our focus should be on keeping our environment clean and tidy, stress-free, with good food and good drink. And it sounds a bit corny almost, but like service with a smile. We very I'm very reluctant to say things like sorry for your loss, or somebody's gone to a better place or anything like that, because it doesn't feel genuine coming from our lips. We don't know these people. What they want from us is a professional outfit that's clean and tidy, and they'll make a judgment on whether they can trust you straight away.
Yeah, absolutely that. And I think, more than anything, they are looking for somewhere that's convenient. You get far more people going to wakes at your cafe because you don't lose people between the crematorium and going somewhere else. It's very immediate. Those conversations, you don't get that big greeting line outside because people could just do it with a cup of tea in hand. And so there's a lot to be said, a huge number of benefits. Plus, the tea and coffee is really, really good, and the food at your place. But people do have a bit of freedom as well if they want to personalise things. So what are some of the things you've seen? I think I've seen like photo boards and maybe music and things. People can create a bit more of a personal space if they want to.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a blank canvas for people, really. We provide the catering and the space, and then we have seen over the 4 years we've been there, I think we've worked out that we've had nearly 1,500 different families over 4 years now, which is obviously more than I can remember now. I used to remember everybody's names and in the early days and connect with people really personally, and it's just becoming, it's a bit sad really to think of it in them terms. It's becoming impossible to remember everybody.
Yeah. But
we've seen some of the things I can remember are like walking boots. They're always, I think, quite sad when people bring walking boots on and display them. One that I remember was really sort of beautiful was an unfinished jigsaw that somebody brought in, and then everybody would try and put a piece on before they left, which was just really, really nice.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, really nice. And because then that unfinished thing is just really heartbreaking, isn't it? Somebody was working on that only a few weeks ago and it won't get finished, so it's very sad. There are slideshows and there are music, but I think people do reserve them sorts of things for the service hall, which is obviously your side of things, and you'll see more of that than we do. Yeah. So we get maybe a drink for a toast, but that we're not a licensed establishment. We don't sell any alcohol, but people can bring their own. And that's when people bring their own, you actually see something more personal. It's not just a wide array of beers on draft. It's, well, so-and-so liked a shot of Tia Maria. So there's 50 shots of Tia Maria, which is disgusting, been handed out. But that again, that just adds that level of personalisation to it as well.
If you're not a fan of Tia Maria, stick it with some vodka and some espresso, shake it up in a cocktail shaker. Brilliant espresso martini.
I'll give it a go. I like an espresso martini, to be fair. Does your coffee heritage back Nick?
Just going back to a point you made there about it gets impossible to remember who everybody is. And I probably feel the same guilt that you do at times, that I don't remember. I'm 1,000 services in, and I can't possibly remember everybody by name, or if I looked back at the script, I probably would. But I'm probably the same as you in at that point at which I'm caring for you, you have 100% of my attention, and there is nothing more important to me at that moment in time. But equally, you need me to do my job well, and then actually we need to move on, because you don't really want to be a friend with the celebrant or the cafe owner after that. You want to move forward, not with the admin of a funeral, for want of a better word. You want to move forward a little bit. So
yeah, I think we have connected with a lot of people, but I say a lot, it will be less than 5% of our bookings, but that's a lot when you've got over 1,000 bookings. So we've connected with a lot of people who do know us, and we do know their names, and they know us, and they come back and use our cafe. But I do think you're right. I think 95% of people wouldn't want to come back to us, and I don't see that. It's not a criticism of us.
Yeah.
It's just, it's probably too sad for them, or they see it as a very functional arrangement. And if people need that, if they need just that distance, like a cold, almost business relationship, then that's what they need. But for anybody wanting more than that, we have got a really good team of people. Our staff will welcome them, and people do come back and visit us. And we wouldn't be able to do that for everybody anyway. So everybody's different.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of the scary things about being a business or supplier into this industry, which, for want of a better phrase, we are, is that you're not kind of in control of the bookings to a certain degree, because that's seasonal based on, kind of what people need at the time. But equally, you can't really build up a loyalty card. It's not like, you're going to keep, certainly for me more so than you, I think, we're not going to keep coming back to me unless you really, really need me. There's nothing else you can buy from me apart from a service. So it's difficult. It's difficult. You always want to be there for your families when they need you, but they don't need you that often. So, but you have got locals. You have got people who come back. So I want to go beyond just the wake to some of the other things you've done to really become a part of the community. And you mentioned you're not a grief counsellor. You're not there for bereavement services, but you have become a safe space for locals to come to get a bit of comfort.
Yeah. We touched on this a little bit at the coffee talk that we did at the weekend, didn't we? We were talking about the importance of coffee shops in the community, and obviously we're probably an extreme version of that with the wake services that we provide. But we're almost two businesses at once. We've got a function room that we provide wake services for, but we're a regular cafe as well that's open to the public. And that connection that we have with people just through the cafe, through people coming time and time again. And there's an element of normality there. That's not just families that have used us, that's locals who have been brave enough to give us a go. There's a couple of local farmers that might get a breakfast sandwich, or there's a few people from the nearby village who have realised that, well, we're still there after 4 years, so they can't be that bad. So they decided to be brave to come and visit us, and then decided that they like the food, they like the setting, which, as you've seen, it's a beautiful setting. So that way it's slowly won people around. The difficulty I've had over the 4 years is that we've never actually advertised anywhere really that we do what we do, which is insane to think about, that we've got a catering and hospitality business that we don't do any advertisements for. Yeah. And it's naturally grown completely organically, because I've never found the right tone to advertise. I don't feel comfortable advertising wake services. I don't feel like it's something we could just leave leaflets in a care home or something like that. I just think it just doesn't, nothing feels right about that. So it's completely word of mouth and reputational based, which is a source of great pride for us. But also it's just been really, really slow. It's been so gradual, because we can't just bombard social media with wake service packages and that kind of thing. It's not how it works.
Yeah, and I totally get you on that one as well. I'm constantly asked by NHS bereavement services, are we creating this bereavement leaflet that we give to people in hospital when they've lost somebody? Do you want to advertise in it? And it's like, I don't think...
What would you say?
Yeah, that kind of, it just doesn't feel right. And that's kind of some of why we're doing the podcast, to try and help people have conversations before they need us, because it doesn't then feel like we're kind of just trying to inspire a business connection at a time where they're grieving. They already know about us, they already know what we can do. And I hope more people from this conversation come and see you before they need you, and realise just how brilliant Maple Park Cafe is. And what you've had, I think, kind of drop-in sessions, have you, for people who've been to wakes, just to get together and not necessarily talk about their grief or the funeral, but just talk? Yeah,
we tried a couple of free tea and coffee mornings, which didn't really work because they were very generic, and they were lightly advertised on Facebook, come and get a free tea and coffee, and nobody really came. But then when we sort of drilled down into who we were trying to do that for, and then we advertised on Facebook again, quite light advertising, free tea and coffee morning as a bereavement cafe, with the crematorium staff invited along and celebrants invited along as well. That got a lot more traction in terms of people felt they were given permission to come to it, rather than just sort of a nebulous thing that was happening at the cafe down the road. It was like, this is for you if you want to come and talk about it. And the thing that came out, I thought, from the meeting that we had with the people that came, was just the amount of different stakeholders involved for somebody arranging a funeral. They've got so many different companies and people to speak to, and I do wish almost, this isn't for me to do, but I almost wish that there was one company that did it for you. So they would provide a crematorium or a burial site, they would provide a celebrant, and they'd provide a venue, and they'd provide a funeral director with transport, and they'd provide catering, all in one business. Because some of the people we meet will want to use our cafe to book a wake service, but they haven't got a date yet with the funeral director. So I have to say, well, you need to go and get a date, come back, and then check that we're available. and they'll do that, but then maybe their family who live in Australia can't come until they've got a flight from whatever, and all these different threads and ducks that they have to get in a row with somebody who's grieving, obviously, and going through a very tough time. They're almost not the best. They're not the best person to be organising it anyway, because they've got too much going on. So I really sympathise with people who, not on the emotional level, not just on the emotional level, the sympathies, but like just the logistics. It's so many different things to pull together.
Yeah, there is a huge amount to do, and particularly then if you involve a celebrant as well, because there's quite a lot of work for a family involved in, more than perhaps a minister where the service is a bit more prescriptive. There's just a lot to think about, and quite often I sit down with families and they're like, I can't make another decision. I've made hundreds. I'm all out of decision making. So that, as our other businesses in event management, the thought has crossed my mind on numerous occasions about, actually, is there a bit of an idea in there somewhere where you become like a wedding coordinator at a hotel? Can you become a funeral coordinator? Because even on the service side, you've got flowers, you've got order of service sheets, you've got obitus for your music and your AV and everything that goes with it. So I think you have a little bit of an idea there that would be interesting to do something with.
I think as well, just on another practical level, you've got so many different skill sets amongst all the different stakeholders. You might, and I'm aware who some of the audience might be for this podcast, but you might have some funeral directors who prefer text message over email, and then you might have some sort of widows even who don't even have an email address. And then some people prefer leaflets through the post. And then I don't have any stamps in my house or in my building, because I've never sent anything, and when you try to piece together these different businesses and people all through different means of communication, it's a headache.
Yeah, and if I ever get direct bookings, because obviously if I'm a funeral director, the funeral director will just pay me on behalf of the family, but if you get a direct booking and people say, can I send you a cheque? And you're like, I don't really know what to do with that.
No.
So some of the things you've also done in your community, just because I want to give a shout out for all the brilliant work you do. You've done Christmas dinners for people, you've done Mother's Day afternoon tea. So tell us a bit more about kind of life beyond funerals or grief and grieving. What else does Maple Park get involved in?
Okay, we have got a charity dinner coming up at the end of July, which is the food bank charity. There's another celebrant that we work with. I'll give a shout out to her actually, because she's great. She's called Pauline Gartlett.
Lovely Pauline, she's amazing.
She is, and she does champion us. She likes our food and she trusts us. But then she's also got her fingers in a lot of pies, a bit like you, I think, Nick. You celebrants are always sort of freelancing away somewhere. So she does like to recommend us for some charity dinners, and we've done a couple, which is fantastic because it allows my brother, who's our chef, to sort of flex his culinary muscles as well. He does a lot of pot pies and sausage rolls and stuff for the waits, but he gets him to do back to 3-course meals and write menu writing and that kind of thing, which he's very good at. So it's good for us to do that as well. We've done the free Christmas dinners that you mentioned. We open up on Christmas Day for a lunch for people who want to come, and it's completely free. We just ask people to let us know that they're coming. It's a nice community sort of initiative that we do. Partly selfish reasons, because it allows me to teach my daughter about Christmas and what it really means to be Christmas. So she gets her presents on a Christmas morning, but then we have to go, right, come on, we're off to the cafe and do that. So she's getting older now. She's a teenager nearly, so she might be a bit grumpy about it this year. We get to do that. And then we have like little activities that have become almost seasonal. We've got like a Christmas gingerbread decorating day, so there's a family activity. And I think some of these events that we do have now become just sort of annual events that become known in the community. So by planning what is a one-off event and trying to sort of target a particular group of people and provide for them, you realise that it connects with that group, and then you feel a responsibility to do it again. You're like, actually, that really worked for them, so let's do it again. And then before you know it, it's you've created a new tradition, so it's nice.
And it's almost as well reinforcing some positive experiences around a crematorium, because everybody still fears them. Most people have only ever been to a crematorium for a really sad occasion, but when you can see some positivity and some community connection and great conversations, it just kind of changes the face a little bit of not being quite so scared.
Yeah, we've got some beautiful memorial gardens at our cafe, and they're not ours. They belong to the council, and they maintain them really, really well. They put a lot of work into them, and they are stunning. So for people to be able to visit the gardens, and then have our cafe just there, sort of them two things together do promote like a really positive experience where their intention is to visit the gardens to reflect, which is, can be for a sad occasion or a sad reason. But while they're there doing that, there couldn't be a better environment to do it in. So it makes it easier, and that promotes like a good feeling.
Yeah, it's so calm and so peaceful, and exactly as you say, you can go and visit your loved one there, or just go and sit and think, and you get a lot of birds and wildlife around, which is just gorgeous to watch. The grounds are kept beautifully by the team at the crematorium, so it's just a really great place to go. So
yeah, I've been a little bit dismayed actually by a couple of new crematoriums that I'm aware of being built that don't have any provisions for catering facilities put on site. I know there's a new place near Leeds, and there's a new one being built just outside York in the Sandhutton area. Two new crematoriums, and obviously I inquired because I thought, well, what we're doing works and we could replicate it, and there's no catering sites being built, no cafe facilities, which I just think it's a real shame when we see the example of our cafe and how, yes, it's rare, and some people find the idea unusual, but the evidence is there, it works brilliantly, and it should be considered for all new future builds, definitely.
Most definitely. If for no other reason than celebrants are really, really busy, and if I know I've got 2 services at Maple Park, I at least think, well, I don't have to take a packed lunch with me, or like a cup of tea that's stewed by the time I get to drink it. So I'm so happy for a day at Maple Park. So, and even my own mum, shout out, I don't know if she listens, but who can be quite nervous around grief and death and those kind of things, and she lives in West Yorkshire, and I said, oh, well, let's go for a day out in Thirsk, meet me at the crematorium. And at first she was a little bit like, really? I said, no, you go get a cup of coffee, I'll do my service, and then we'll go into Thirsk and we can have it around the shops. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. It's like completely changed my thoughts on, if I was coming here again, I would happily call in and have a cup of tea. I'm not frightened of it, but I would have been had I not known how lovely it was. So it's just trying to get the message out to people.
Yeah, I think that it's strange because I understand the hesitation, because as I mentioned at the start of this, when me and my wife first went to go and have a look at the place, we had the same hesitation. But then I kind of thought of it in the terms of if you went to a church service and the local church was serving tea and coffee and had nibbles afterwards, nobody would think that was strange at all.
Yeah.
But because there's an element of commercial and business attached to it, it does give people that completely uneasy feeling. And I try and reassure people and say, well, look, we're not raging capitalists and we're not Costa or Starbucks. We are just a tiny family-run business. I employ my brother, and we have 3 or 4 members of staff, and we pay them the national living wage. We sort of go beyond the minimum wage, which, I mean, I joke about it, but our guys serving the coffee are probably the best paid cafe staff in the whole of North Yorkshire, because we want to sort of embed that community feeling in everything that we do. And it works. I think that these small steps and these little messages that we shout about, whether it be green energy or paying our staff well or providing a clean space, the messages do resonate with people. It's what people want.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is really important. It's a great coffee shop, great cup of coffee, doing good for the community, and somewhere you can just go and feel really safe at a really difficult time. And, if you're going to have a look around the crematorium, if you're not sure if you're going to have your service at Maple Park, always just call in for a coffee with you guys afterwards, because you can have a good chat with you as well about what you can do. So thank you so much for coming and speaking to us. So you are Maple Park Café at the Maple Park Crematorium in Thirsk. People can find you, I think, on Facebook. You have a page. Yeah,
I joked earlier that we sort of slowly but surely created it over 4 years. We still haven't even got a website up and running, which is terrible in 2026. But yeah, our Facebook page is the best place to find us, and the website is coming in the next 2 weeks. But yeah, Maple Park Cafe on Facebook. And also Maple Park Crematorium does have a link to our contact details and menus and that kind of thing on their website. So we can be found.
Absolutely. And please don't just think that people can only go there if you're thinking of having a service. The food is beautiful, the coffee is great. So if you just pass it, if you live in the local area, we're all small businesses. Hospitality is really, really tough at the moment. You haven't got to cut to your VAT, unlike some other businesses. So we know how tough it is for hospitality. So please go and support David and his team. They are doing a phenomenal job, and they would really appreciate anything you can add. You know, a whole day for 60 quid is tough. So please go and support them and give them your help. So thank you so much for joining me, David.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for all the amazing work that you do as well, Nick. I know that you big up everybody that comes on here, but you need it as well. You do an amazing job. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you very much indeed. I appreciate that. And do you know what I love about this funeral industry? Yes, we are businesses, but it's one heck of a community. We really kind of support each other, do what we can to help each other. Much like coffee that we were involved in last week. They're just lovely communities to work in. So we wish you the best of luck. I won't see you for a couple of weeks because I'm on holiday, but when I am back, I will definitely be in for one of your brother's amazing lunches and a great cup of coffee. And thank you for everything you do.
My pleasure. Thanks, Nick. Cheers.
Thank you for listening, and we really hope you enjoyed and were inspired by this week's episode. Remember that you can get in touch with us anytime to ask a question, offer to be a guest, or to request that we bust a particular myth. You can get in touch via any of our social accounts over My Dead Poddy on Facebook, Insta, or TikTok. Or you can drop us an email at overmydeadpoddy@gmail.com. Just a reminder that whilst all of us work in the funeral industry, none of us are fully qualified grief counsellors. And therefore, if you've been affected by any of the issues that we've discussed today, we highly recommend that you seek out professional or medical support to help you with those conversations. Should you need any support, please do get in touch and we can hopefully signpost you in the right direction, but we can't offer those services ourselves. Thanks for listening, and we can't wait to bring you the next episode.